What's good? It's your girl, Miss Romulus, the Royals Assist, and welcome to the Royal Society TV. With this edition is the Cosmetic Surgeries Diary. And we're going to be going in real quick, but I also want to introduce my guest that's here with me. You can introduce yourself.
My name is Carrie.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Good. So Carrie is going to be kicking off one of our series, like I said, Plastic Surgery Diaries. And this is about the journeys of women who have undergone cosmetic surgery in Miami, but are now navigating either post-op or the recovery process and even pre-planning from BBLs and tummy tucks, you name it, different things they might have going on. But these conversations we're going to be having is to really get to know them and kind of what it was that happened during their journey. And some advice that they could even be able to give to other ladies so that if they're planning on either coming, they can have a better experience or just as good of an experience as one of our ladies might share. So just to kick it off, I have some questions I'm going to be asking Carrie. That way we could be a little bit organized as to what we're going to talk about. So just a little bit more about, say you already told us your name and where you're from. You live in Tampa. Tell us, what do you do?
I'm a financial aid advisor and a mom of 3 and a wife.
Awesome. So is this your first round or your second round?
First round.
First round.
It's the only round. I'm done.
Done.
One and done.
And then what clinic did you go to and what doctor did you have?
Prestige Cosmetics with the one and only Dr. Delium, also known as Dr. D.
Yes. And then first, tell us, what procedure did you get done?
I had a mommy makeover, breast lift, no implants, tummy tuck, and lipo on the flanks.
Yes.
I also had a little lipo on my midsection.
Yes. So for those that don't know, in the cosmetic world, there's a lot of different terminology that the ladies use. Lipo is just short for liposuction. Flanks, meaning like the sides where she had surgery or liposuction done. And then in the abdomen, like in the front area. Mommy makeover, which is like MMO for short too in the surgery world, is when you get a combination surgery of a tummy tuck with the breast lift at the same time. So that's what Carrie had.
Some muscle repair too.
Muscle repair, which that's something that a lot of people don't know about, but it's when they actually have to repair the muscles in your abdomen, which it happens a lot to moms who have come and have surgeries where that muscle breaks down or is even torn from giving birth to their children. And so actually not repairing muscle repair, I found this out, could actually even lead to back problems and even difficulty walking later on if you don't fix it. So it's a good point to bring up that some women have to come and get the muscle repair as a surgery, and someone might judge them for doing the tummy tuck, but they needed to do it in order to keep on walking right and not have back pain, similar to like a breast reduction, because that can cause back pain or shoulder pain. But yes, that's just to explain a little bit what the MMO, which is mommy makeover, and the type of surgery that Carrie had. So my next question is, what is something you did that you would do differently what is something you did this time that you would say maybe you would do differently if you did plan like a surgery all over again?
I would say not wait until the last minute to go ahead and know what your labs is like. I kind of speeded up my date for, personal reasons with job and thinking about going back to nursing school and stuff. So I was like pressed trying to get my hemoglobin at my clinic, wanted to have it at a 12. Some clinics, it could be a little higher. But definitely go ahead knowing as soon as you put your deposit down, knowing that you're going to have surgery, start preparing your body for what's needed. Because you're going to have, if you're doing anything with the breast, if you're over 40, you're going to have a mammogram. Chest x-ray if you're a smoker. Right. Hemoglobin needs to be, like I said, my clinic needed, my doctor wanted it at 12, but some doctors did 13. White blood cell count, your PTNR, PTNT. So definitely go order your labs, and you don't have to wait till your clinic gives you the paperwork. There's ways you can go out there and you can order your labs just so you know exactly what you're working with and what you need to work towards. Don't wait till the last 30 days to do it.
Yes.
Because I was stressed out.
And you know what? That's such an excellent point that you're bringing up, Carrie, because so for those that don't know, pre-labs is something the ladies have to do, pre-laboratory tests in order for them to be cleared for surgery. So what Carrie is saying was that she waited until the clinic kind of told her, hey, you need to get this done, which is kind of pressed. The clinic might tell you and say your surgery is a month away. That means you have a month to figure out whether if you're a primary care doctor or if you're going to go to a subcontracted outside source place that will charge you money to do all these tests. And so that's not a lot of time, especially when the clinic wants you to have those pre-labs done 30 days before your surgery and can be no later than 15 days before the day you arrive. And so one of the top advice that I do get to tell ladies, if I get to meet them beforehand, if I meet you too last minute, I can't give you this advice, but some advice to share now is don't wait until you know you're about to have surgery to wait to do your labs. Right away, schedule an appointment with your primary care doctor. Tell them to just give you a once-over, head-to-toe, everything, full check. So that way, if you do catch something, you're catching it before you actually do your lab work that's due for the clinic. Because if you wait to do it when the clinic tells you to, and then they get back results back, and then it's something you don't have enough time to even fix. Perfect example is a UTI. You will get canceled. Your surgery will get canceled because you can't be on antibiotics when you arrive to have surgery. And so imagine if you went to the doctors beforehand, found out you had the UTI, was able to deal with it and have it all cleared out your system, then redo your actual labs, and those pass with flying colors. Same like Carrie said, hemo, meaning hemoglobin. That's the number one test you ladies get asked, or anyone who's coming to get surgery. And they want to see the level of that. If you already know you suffer from low iron and you always have fatigue, and then you will benefit from just going ahead and doing that test ahead of time instead of being disappointed and saying, oh, my hemo came back low and now I'm getting canceled, or I got to push my date. So that was a very, very good one, Carrie. Thank you for sharing that. Because again, I had a lot to say on that topic, which is why I advise start planning your surgery and your after surgery stuff early. If you're doing it on your own, great. But that's one of the services that the Royal Society provides. We actually help ladies coordinate and plan their whole surgery. So if we meet you months ahead, we can tell you stuff like, hey, how's your nutrition going? Did you do this? And help you cover a lot of those steps and help you plan everything. So that was a really good one. All right, my next question is, what were some of the barriers that you faced when planning your surgery? Barriers or obstacles, things that came in the way, almost tried to come in the way, or were in the way of you planning the surgery?
When you're a mom and you already have kids, it's one of those situations where your kid is always going to be a barrier. One of mine is the kids starting back school. Making sure I know I'm going to be out of work for a certain amount of time. So making sure that, ends are still met. Because you got to understand as a mom, this is an election, and you have all kind of moms. So I'm not trying to criticize nobody's momism, but for me, my babies always come first. And this is something that I elected to have. It wasn't a necessity. So with that being said, I can't sit up there and go and have a surgery and know that, neglect my responsibilities as a mother. So making sure that end was covered. Work is another big end you have to tackle, because most of the time when you are employed, by you having a cosmetic procedure, it's an elective procedure. So certain things don't kick in as far as for certain coverage for certain benefits that you may be receiving. I had my brother passed away in June, right before Father's Day. So, and one of our last arguments was about having mommy makeover surgery. He felt like I didn't need it. I'm like, hey, it's my body. I do what I want. So, it was hard still coming down here and still having the surgery, knowing that was one of the last things that we had our odds about real big. Yeah. But he took care of me along the way. Still happy to come, happy with my results. So that's another barrier, is having the world around you and their opinions, because 9 times out of 10 when you're in the surgery room, you have to hide you're going to have surgery. Yes. You have people that's going to clap for you, but low-key, they're not really happy for you because you're doing something they really want to do, but they can't do it right now because of whatever they got going on in their life. Then you have the people that is super duper worried about you because of the risk you take coming down here laying on the table. You have so many people come down here, lay on the table, and never come home. You know, so you can't blame your family and your friends for not wanting to be on board completely with your decision with having surgery just because of them knowing the risk. A lot of convincing not only yourself but your support, your main support system, because no matter what you do, you can't come down here and have surgery without somebody knowing. Somebody gonna know something.
Yeah.
So making sure that your support, you find yourself convincing your support system why you still want to come, why you need to come with whatever's going on. My biggest thing was Jackie O had just passed away.
Yeah.
So I was like loud and proud, and then me being loud and proud turned into everybody sending me, oh, see, she's going to Miami. She passed away, you know. She does. So at first I was just like, you know what, I ain't even going. You know, so I ended up go from being loud and proud to shy and meek and secretive and almost sneaking to go do something that I wanted to do for myself just because I don't want the scrutiny. I don't want nobody else's opinion. Then you have those who have went before you, who just know it all. You know, so they scare you up. You got the groups on social media. Everybody has this horror story, but I think for me the biggest thing I take away from it is just like having a baby. There's no two surgeries gonna be the same. No two pregnancies gonna be the same, no matter what nobody else has told you, until you come lay on that table and go through that journey or that process yourself. You're gonna have your own story to tell.
Absolutely right. And that was amazing, Carrie. I remember you and I, we actually got to meet ahead of time before you were coming to plan your surgery. And in the midst of that, you letting me know about your brother passing away and how you kind of like had a mini breakdown at that moment. And we had to like pray through that. We had to talk through that because it almost seemed like you had so much building on top of you, trying to get out of work. You hit so many great points, which is like how some women literally struggle with getting time off from work. They get discriminated against by their job because it's an elective surgery, you know, having deaths around them, having friends and family who, you know, say so many things that it ends up giving them anxiety and then they can't get it. Those are all real big topics that happen and a lot of people don't know. And like Carrie said, a lot of women end up hiding that they're even having this with them, which then leads them to not really reaching out to the right people ahead of time to get the right advice so that they're safe when they get here. You know, so job, death, people's opinion, that was everything that you had to like basically navigate through and try to overcome and still staying sane. And then another big point you just made too was about children. A lot of moms do come, and it's not to judge, but if you're coming as a single mom, see, Carrie is a wife, but still, her and her husband didn't just have to like tag team and make sure that he still got the kids from the school bus. Like you said, you had to put money aside to be ready for when you was off of work, you know, and then even lately, I've even been saying it's not a bad idea for you to actually sit down and maybe do a will and do a letter with your family before you come and get maybe some life insurance policies if you didn't have that before, and just be realistic, especially if you're a single mom. You know, because I've had single moms come and I've taken care of them, and some of them even came with their child, and that was super scary for me. So I want ladies to just rethink certain things like before you come. If it means prolonging it and save up money, well then do that, you know, just so you don't put yourself at risk.
And that was another thing I was gonna say is, you know, everyone always have the clinic budget. And think that that's the only budget. Surgery is so much more than the clinic. Like people think you just spend that whatever the doctor says, not 95, 85, whatever the cost of your procedure. But there's so much funds and there's money around it. You need money for your labs, your pre-clearance labs, commute. If I recommend everybody hire you, and don't be cheap with it. Like whatever she say, you know, her prices, pay it. Because it makes a difference. Like with your massages, your garments to protect your investment, down to you wearing the pins. You know what I'm saying? Like antibacterial soap, like all kind of stuff that you didn't think that you need to have, but you have to have because it makes or break your whole journey. You know, like, and having someone that knows your area that you have surgery. I wouldn't care if you have surgery in Atlanta, Tampa, come down here to Miami. You need somebody who knows the streets of wherever you're finna go and have surgery.
Yes, and so that even leads me to like one thing that's been happening in the surgery world is women getting preyed on. They try to find resources and services in like surgery Facebook groups that are not necessarily run by the clinic themselves. And then these groups, they'll meet people that'll say, hey, yeah, I'll help you. Cash out me this much money, Zelle me this much money, and then get left stranded at the airport, not have nowhere to stay, nowhere to go. So we talk about like vetting the company that you're going to work with, making sure they're actually a registered business, making sure the phone number they're calling you from is good. Only doing paperwork and contracts before you send any type of money, and send money in a way that's more secure, where you're protected and the other person's protected. Like Carrie said, you're coming to a whole new place, a whole new city. You want to not only make sure you're doing good business with a good business, but where you going that person knows and they're actually from there. So ask questions, and even ask to get on a call and get to know that person, because there's a habit in the surgery world, right, where women are hiring people but just through text messages, and then and the first time you see that person's face is when you pull up to the airport, and that's the person that's going to be showering you, cleaning you up. You're going to be naked, bleeding, crying all around that person. It's just not cool. And so I really am doing this to kind of bring awareness to some things that need to change, and hopefully even like the city of Miami sees that, like, okay, why do the clinics drop the ball when it comes to this stuff? If I didn't teach you everything that you learned after surgery and helped you with everything that I helped you, you went to the clinic, 3 times? They didn't tell you any of that.
And then that's another thing that, just from my experience, and not to like bash Prestige, but Prestige didn't teach me nothing. I didn't learn anything from Prestige. They gave me a piece of paper with my post-op instructions and called me, asked me how I was doing, but as far as what to do with the foams, the boards, just everything, like they tell you, but of course you don't get all the information till the day before surgery. And then, the day of surgery, you out of it and you don't know what to do. You barely know how to set the timer to get up to get your medicine. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff about having surgery that you really, really, really have to do your research on. Without that research and that knowledge, or having somebody knowledgeable to teach you along the process, you don't wasted your money. You don't mess up your investment. It's just a bad experience. That's why it's so much bad experience in these group chats on social media and the groups on Facebook and stuff, because you don't have nobody that knows. I mean, you could be a nurse, you could be an EMT, you could and still not know nothing.
And look, I even say that story. I got thrown into this because my best friend, she's an RN, I'm an EMT, and she just said, come with me, I'm having surgery in Miami. And I was like, all right, we got this. She was like, you know how to cook, you'll take care of me. But when I tell you, when she got out of that surgery, and I saw her leaking what it looked like blood to me from everywhere, and she was dirty and in pain, and I babied her. I did whatever she said. When she didn't want to get up, I told her it's fine. If she didn't want to eat, I told her it was fine. And I realized later, because she messed up her results, that was not what we were supposed to do. And I didn't know anything about a faja, compressing, foams, boards, any of that. So even her with her RN credentials, me with my credentials, and even loving my friend, we messed up. We did not do what we were supposed to do. And so that's why Carrie is making that point, that you just definitely want to have somebody around you that knows what they're doing, who won't be intimidated by maybe having to spring into action in a medical situation. My business suggests coming with someone. This is why we're bringing awareness to this, because I don't want ladies to hide anymore. I don't want ladies to come with a lack of support system. You got to come with someone, because you and that person got to learn while you're here. You should be focused on getting education and training while you're here, not necessarily looking for a stranger to babysit you in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you trying to recover by yourself in a hotel. Because I've had ladies say, oh, I got this. I could just do that and eat the free breakfast downstairs. No, you cannot take care of yourself after this. Anything can happen. And so that's such a great point to put out. And again, it's not in no way bashing the clinics. The clinics stated in their paperwork, we are just here to do the procedure.
Exactly.
That's it. And then it says it's up to you to learn everything else. So if you don't learn, they say it's on you. Right. So at the end of the day, we can't say it's their fault, but I'm noticing there's a gap. If the clinic is not giving education and ladies are overwhelmed and Googling doesn't help, something or someone is needed to actually provide the education and the training. And so
where did you learn the information?
Well, okay, so I have been doing research for years. Like my son is 3. I knew I needed me a money makeover after him. You know what I'm saying? And no matter, how much research I went and I did, I used to get grossed out looking at other people's drains, looking at, because they get so gruesome in some of the chats or some of the stuff you find online. You can actually watch a whole procedure be done right in front of you. So I really used to get grossed out, like just watching. I used to have to just turn because oh, I don't know if I really want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So but like you say, like when the clinics release you, they've done their job. And I've been saying all week, the easiest part of this whole process is laying on the table. Like you laying on the table, most people think that's the hardest thing. That's the easiest thing. When you get up, that's when the tough work happens. I mean, and it's a lot of it is mind over matter. I'm a whoop when it comes to pain. I don't like to be in pain. I don't like to hurt. I don't like to be sick. And in my healthcare background, I don't like to take medicine either. Coming down here, having any kind of surgery, it ain't for the weak. Like it ain't for the weak. You have to put yourself in a mental position where you have to get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get up and do this. You got, in my case, I got kids at home waiting on me. I only got 7 days to get it right. You know what I'm saying? When I fly back home today, I'm back right into mommy mode. Where you been at is all I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So carving out that time for you to be able to fully heal, you have to think about that too. A lot goes into it.
So that's what I was saying. Like when you tried to do a lot of the research on your own, it just overwhelmed you and it was kind of gross. So you really learned a lot during your care when you was getting your care. And so that was what we focused on mostly. Would you agree? Like when I was with you, it was mostly like, hey, this is what you got to do. This is how you got to take care of yourself.
I mean, and then when I say do your research, you also want to make sure you're researching your doctor, because a lot of people don't take the time to research their doctor. You have doctors that everybody specializes. I could do a mommy makeover, but maybe breast is my specialty, or maybe the way that I do my tummy tuck incision, the way I cut and the way I close it up is my specialty. That makes me sets me aside from other physicians. And then, it's a lot. Like you have the bad ones mixed in with the good ones. So when people do their research, they only do research from that standpoint. Like I did a lot of reviews from realstuff.com. My doctor was listed there. She's double board certified too. So you want to make sure that you're dealing with doctors that are certified and have good bedside manners and stuff like that too, because and there's a lot of good doctors that done been bashed too. So you have to be able to decipher between the BS and the good stuff, because there's a lot of BS out there. There's people that sits all day and all they do is marketing
For that.
for that doctor. You know what I'm saying? Filtering out whatever's bad. So when you go to this doctor, all you do is see nothing but good. Or they got somebody that's beefing with that doctor, so now they got somebody that's sitting in the room paid to just make this doctor look bad. Because it's a dirty world out here in the surgery world, and I found out a lot through you.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama.
Why did the Lord assist come through it in the education?
Shit, from firehouse to nutrition to, where didn't it come in at, honestly? From knowing what medicines, where to get my medicine, what to tell the doctor so we can go around the bull crap that the doctors give you, because the doctors is a business. So you ain't nothing but just a number. When you have the worldlessness added on to you being that number, that's where the quality come in at. Because, it's like when you go in, you talk to them different. You know how to go in and ask them for certain stuff, and you need certain stuff so they know not to play with you.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's true, we did a lot of that where she would ask me a question and I would just give her the insider information, like, hey, this is how you want to ask for that. This is how you advocate.
Call them in.
This is, call, say this. And every time she'd come back and say, it worked. So yeah, I'm happy though. And again, that's where we want to make an emphasis. My business, it's about helping the ladies to be trained and educated, because I noticed that that's the gap that's missing here. And again, it's like the city, I feel like the city should help with something like that. Whether if it is that a new centralized hub opened up that focused on giving the ladies the education, because a lot of times I even give it out for free, because people that are in the business world, they won't sit and talk with you. They'll say, unless you pay a deposit, I'm not going to give you advice.
Exactly.
But I've had ladies that for an hour just gave them advice so they could be safe, and it's fine if you don't book me. We do free consultations for that reason, because we care about safety. We even started doing something where if you bring your family, we just train them. So you don't even have to pay us for the full service. At least pay for us to come in and train your family. So yeah,
I better pay my girl for the free because baby, she go too hard and do too good, not to be compensated for real.
Thank you, Carrie.
Like the passion and all of that, the empathy, just you as a person shapes your business and make you stand out from a lot of the other places.
Thank you. And that's why I'm so grateful to you for even being willing to do this. Because like you said, a lot of ladies don't like to share their story. And like you're literally going to be an inspiration to another woman, another mom, another wife. Once they hear this and they get a lot of this information, my hopes is that this will help them and we could just avoid other women being scared, hurt, or end up in a situation. So I'm so grateful to you for that. But yeah, so my other question, Carrie, okay, you got to tell everybody, right? What's something that had to do with surgery that nobody says anything about, but you experienced it and you're like, how come nobody talks about this? I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
I already know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. All to say Christian's fault. But baby, listen, no, I was up at 12 o'clock in the morning like, y'all ain't tell me about this burning. Like, the burning. The burning from the lipo. I repeat, guys, the burning is not for the weak. Like, the boobs didn't even hurt. I didn't feel the boobs at all. I was like, dang, the boobs was easy. I've had 3 C-sections, so the tummy tuck incision was like a breeze too for me. But the burning from the lipo, like, I don't understand how women come get. I'm so glad that my doctor, she told me, she was like, I don't ever get a chance to say this, so I'm gonna really live in my moment, but you're one and done. But I don't understand how women do the lipo 360, which is all the way around, and they used to take whatever fat sucked out, and you can only do 4 liters and put it in the butt or fill in the hips or whatever they choose to do. But the burning from the lipo. Like, I had my drains removed today, and like when she took the
Explain a little bit what you were saying. They're called drains. Tell people what drains are.
So drains is usually they insert drains in your lymphatic system to basically help you drain the fluid because you swell up and fluid gets retained and all of that. So they put drains in the drains. I've heard horror stories about drains, but I don't have one to share with you guys because my drain experience was not bad.
So it's like, imagine you got these like 2 strings hanging out of you with like little bulbs filled with liquid, and sometimes you might even have 2 up here and 2 down here, and they're super like annoying and they get in the way.
Yeah, they get in the way, they tug, they get caught on something, they pull. They're horrible. But from my experience with my drains, I guess she was more aggressive on my left side with the lipo. So it was a lot of burning on each side, but my left side was horrible. Today when I went and she removed the drains, I felt like that last sensation that I knew when that drain was pulled from my body, that was going to be it from the burning. I wasn't going to feel like that no more.
Amen.
And literally, I was like so happy. I know when to standing up straight, walking better, everything when those drains came out.
Remember too, like, so when you get a tummy tuck, it's like you can't really cough like that. Nobody tells you gotta brace yourself. So Carrie was doing like this, like, and she couldn't laugh. That's like, yeah. So be careful if you do that surgery. Brace yourself before you cough or anything like that.
Sneeze, laugh. Fart, just brace yourself. You don't realize how many abdominal muscles you use to do just normal stuff a day.
Right.
Like, for real.
So, all right. So we're on our last question, which is, did you have any complications or complaints, like, how leaving out of this? No, you didn't have no complications. Everything went smooth with you. Complaints, what would you say was something you would complain about with the whole process or anything?
You prepared me very well. I know this is, marketing for you, but y'all got to get y'all a list. Like, y'all really have to. I strongly recommend everybody find them a list when it comes down to this surgery world, because I had, certain things canceled on me last minute. Where certain people that were supposed to spend the night couldn't, because everybody had their life, things happen.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a blessing in disguise because I had Liz. Like, I don't think there's nobody I could have brought from home besides my best friend who was a CNA. But even that, like, just
It's different.
It's different, you know.
Because sometimes family or friends kind of will do it with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Or you gotta
Not
get
necessarily with
this
a
junk,
habit.
right? Talking junk sometimes, or like getting frustrated.
But just knowing, like, she never had surgery, so she don't know where to put foams and boards. If this part needs to be compressed like this, or that part needs to be compressed like that. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely having the list. If y'all have surgery in Miami, please reach out to me if you need me to talk to you more about like my journey or my experience. But hire Liz, and don't hire one of them little skimp packages. You're gonna get here, you're gonna be upset with you telling you that she can't do it because she booked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, stay them extra 2 days. If they tell you need to stay down 7 days, use that 7 days for you.
Point.
Because, you know, people be rushing back home like, okay, my bare minimum just 5 days. And, like, I was so glad I stayed the full 7 days. I could have went home in 5 days, but the full 7 days, like, I feel so much better to be able to fly home now.
That's a good point.
Just don't be cheap with yourself coming here. You already finna do something life-changing. Might as well, if you gotta save up another 6 months to make sure you get everything, then do what you need to do to make sure you have your money in order to make sure you have the full experience.
If you come to the Royal Society, we're gonna spoil you. That's what. So I be saying it like. Post-op care is a luxury. So if you don't want to like have that headache lifted off of your shoulders and you don't want kind of queen treatment, I feel like you women deserve that. Anyone who's coming, you deserve that after surgery. You deserve everything to be on point, and you just get like queen treatment the whole time. And that's what we do with our ladies, like little touches to make them feel like it's a person that is their family member, but above and beyond that, caring for them.
Literally.
So
Praying
together, everything. You guys will see clips, because we'll put clips in there from Carrie's like surgery day and post-op day and how she was doing. You know, because even a part of this was she had to get massages every day to help her lymphatic system be drained. But yeah, so it was amazing though. And she was such a breeze to take care of. You know, my business, again, we take our time to get to know each woman. We create a whole profile on you. We want to know your birthday, your zodiac sign, your favorite color, your favorite food. Every day she ate what she wanted to eat. It was a custom menu that was built. And so these are all the little touches that we do just to make your recovery experience amazing. But yeah, so that was
shopping.
Right, yeah, and I'll always take you to go get what you need, the fajas, which that's what they say in Spanish, but it's like the compression garment you have to buy. We'll make it a point to take you to one of the best places here in Miami where you can get the kind that you like at the price that you like. And so the size, and knowing when to alter it and measure yourself. This place has all the supplies and everything. Shout out to Pretty Girl Curves in Miami. I love shopping there. I even got my own from there. Because even if you don't have surgery or not, like, they're really good garments to help you to waist train and just compress.
They got some sexy garments. They got this red one.
Yeah,
I'm finna save up. I gotta have it by Christmas.
But no, thank you so much, Carrie, for doing this. And ladies, you heard her. We're gonna put her IG at the bottom and her Facebook, so that way y'all can hit her up. She's open to answer questions and stuff and let you know. She didn't share pictures with it publicly like this, but even if you had questions about her incisions and stuff like that, she's more than willing to share that. Carrie, was there anything just to end it off that you wanted to say to the ladies or to just anyone about this? Like, how you feeling? So she's like 7 days post-op. We're actually about to leave right now and go straight to the airport because she out.
Let's not get to them, but thank you. Like, I really appreciate you. Like, I couldn't have did this journey without you. I've been telling you that all week. And my advice to you ladies is, like I said, like, get with Liz. Vet your recovery person. Vet your cousin if that's the cousin that's coming from you. Put her or him or whoever in some uncomfortable situations with you to see how they're gonna act with you, because your favorite cousin could be your worst cousin, bringing them into these type of situations, having to take care of you in your most traumatic, time. You ain't the fun cousin when you just had BBL surgery or memory makeover or whatever it is you coming to get done. So, but hire Liz is the number one advice I have.
Thank you so much, Carrie. It was such an honor, Queen, taking care of you. So thank you, y'all. That was the first episode. This is going to be from the Cosmetic Surgery Diaries, the Royal Society TV. You already know it's your girl, Miss Romulus, the Royals Assist, CEO and founder of the Royal Society. And you can reach us at 323-244-1992 or go on www.theroyalsociety.com or theroyalsassist.com.